Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So a couple weeks ago, I posted a video reacting to Miss Scarcella, our favorite lesbian gone transphobe. And you guys, I feel like we've been transported back to elementary school because I think I'm in a fight with Scarcella. She made another reaction video about me, and at this point, it's very much like, Stacey said what now? Stacey said what? Jenny did what now? Jenny, no, Jenny, stop, Jenny. And you know what? It's my fault. I may have started it. I'll take the blame. But I'm going to finish it too. In all seriousness, you guys, she did make another reaction video to the video that I posted a couple weeks ago titled, Woke Trans Woman Attacks Me and Looks Dumb, LOL. Well, I'm pretty sure she changed the title. I think the original title was Woke Trans Woman Attacks Me and Fails, but she must have changed that. Maybe after realizing that I did not fail. The last video that we did a couple weeks ago was a reaction video to her reacting to like a few different woke TikTokers, me being one of them. But apparently this week, this video is all about me. I'm so excited. My own dedicated Scarcella video. This should be good. Am I woke? I never really thought about it before. I guess I am. I'm literally the definition of woke, huh? No, yeah, that's fair. For today's video, we're going to be reacting to this reaction to a reaction of a reaction to a reaction video. So we're going to be reacting to it, and I'm going to be, filling in the gaps where she may have cut some things out. My name is Samantha Lux. I post new videos every single week here on my channel. So if you guys are not yet subscribed and you would like to be, go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. I swear, I'm not always yelling at transphobes. I do other things as well. I swear. Are you done? Thank you very much. I also have an Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, so make sure to follow me over there to keep us up to date with me as possible, as well as a Twitch channel that I stream video games on every single week. We are finally getting back into it since I've moved. And finally, I do have a Patreon, so if you guys like the work that I do here on my channel and you would like to support me and support the work that I do on my channel, Patreon is the best way to do that. So thank you guys so much. And with no further ado, let's get into this reaction to a reaction to a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. Let's do it. She went from being this pro-LGBT content creator to this anti-trans content creator.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I've done a ton of content supporting actual transsexual people, just in the past 10 years or so, but I'm sure Samantha knows more about my beliefs than I do, right?
Oh, she's an ally. She said, excuse me, I am very supportive of the transsexuals. I swear. She's trying to do the whole, I support you rational transsexuals, just not the crazy woke ones. Not the ones that are, transing the kids. To be fair, 10 years ago, maybe she did make pro-trans content. I mean, in the last video that we reacted to, she talks about how she lost all of her friends from the left once she went through this switch. So me pointing out that she had a switch, I don't know why she's like butthurt about that, because she literally talked about that switch herself. The switch of going from somebody on the left to somebody on the right. And I will say, I appreciate her being an ally, right? We appreciate her standing up for true trans people, whatever that means. But her comments beg to differ. If you are so supportive of trans people, of transsexuals, why are your subscribers all calling me a man? All the comments on this video are calling me a man and misgendering me and pointing out my masculine features. This one says, biological men attacking women while hiding behind the transgender label will never not feel super misogynistic to me. This one says, biological men and their audacity. Dear transphobes out there, just because you put the term biological in front of it doesn't take away from the fact that you're calling me a man. Did dude just mansplain lesbian to a lesbian? Why is that bloke mansplaining to a woman? So like Ariel, clearly you have cultivated a very anti-trans following here, right? At least the people who are actively commenting on your videos of a transsexual person, if they're doing this in the comments, they're clearly not supportive of trans people, including transsexuals. Of course, people are not responsible for all the comments that are left on their videos, but when the commenter is agreeing with you and calling me a man at the same time, that triggers a red flag for me. I saw somebody comment on one of her videos that her ex must have been non-binary and broke her heart, and that's why she's out here on a rampage against the trans community. I believe it. There is no explaining this craziness.
This never happened. I don't know how this rumor even started, and multiple people, even people with a lot of followers like Samantha, somehow have it in their head that this was a thing.
I was just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm just kidding. It's so funny because first of all, she's cutting things out already. She's only responding to the most irrelevant things. I'll make a point in it and then tell a joke afterwards, and she'll cut out the point and react only to the joke. And then be like, she's not even making any points. You cut them out.
This flavor of pick-meism is absolutely insane to me. It just fascinates me.
As insane as your orange sherbet colored hair? Nose ring, check. Badly cut bangs, check.
What's going on here? What is happening? We're just getting right into it. Right into the name calling, right into the meanness. Okay, all right. A few things to point out here. Juno Rose, the person who's being reacted to, this video has 40 likes, 7 comments, 0 saves, 1 share. Ariel was searching for this video.
No, I don't search for videos about me. I'm pretty sure that people feel comfortable enough at this point in my career to hate on me very publicly. This person that I was reacting to with the orange hair, the orange sherbet colored hair, stitched me. So it came up in my mentions on TikTok and I saw it. But go on, keep on lying.
Oh my God, not the calling me a liar for joking, sis. I'm sorry. I don't want to do the whole, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. But like, we're all on the same page, right? That was clearly a joke. Even if it wasn't, even if this person was in your mentions, came up in your notifications, they're still a much smaller creator than you. So that power imbalance that you're taking advantage of is still very much at play, whether or not you went out and actively searched for this video. But I'm sorry for lying. I really am. Guys, I can't tell if I like these nails or not. Wow, she's gonna react to this video and just clip that part and be like, I don't like these nails either. I hate them. That's the only part she'll react to. My hair's kind of bad today. I won't lie. Ariel, no comment from you.
But go on, keep on lying.
Is you coming out with a big old, I'm gay, I'm a lesbian. Is the video with you bragging about being a conservative lesbian not an example of you being a pick-me? Is a woman who obsessively desires male approval and validation, often at the expense of other women. So if we translate this from a pick-me girl to a pick-me gay, a pick-me lesbian, she would be a pick-me lesbian as a lesbian who obsessively desires straight approval and validation, often at the expense of other LGBT people. That's what you're doing. I ate that shit up. I was so right. Where's the lie? Lie detector. Determined there was no lie. I'm a rational lesbian. I'm not crazy like those other LGBT people.
No lies detected here. You can call me a pick me if you like, but I stand by what I say. And yes, I do think a good amount of outspoken queer people and some LGBT people are off the rails at the moment. And even though it is Pride Month, there are a ton of things the community should not be proud of. And I will continue to call those things out.
She said, true. You got me good, sis. I am a pick-me. I am. No, I am. At least she's honest. At least she's self-aware. As far as her point about calling out the people that are off the rails in the community, that's fine, you know? I'm not going to say that there aren't people in the community doing things that are off the rails that I would call out and that I would personally not agree with, that I would personally think is wrong and the community should not support. There's no issue in talking about those things, right? The issue comes from when you generalize the entire community based off of those examples, which is exactly what Ariel does. She'll take these extreme random examples from like the deepest, darkest corners of TikTok and make a YouTube video saying that the whole community is turning into this woke community and we've all gone crazy and we've all gone insane and blah, blah, blah. Be queer, do crime. Marxism takes over woke TikTok. Woke queers are refinding religion, except it's demonology. Woke judge, no prison for trans child abuser. Like she uses these really extreme examples of somebody who either like just looks exceptionally queer, like super slay, or somebody who does a really bad thing, like is a sexual predator or something like that, and uses these examples to stereotype the entire community. But then she'll say, but I stand up for real transsexual people. I stand up for those of you with real gender dysphoria. That's me. I have crippling gender dysphoria. I'm as true of a transsexual as you can get. And yet all the people in your comments are coming out and saying that I'm a man. All of your supporters are misgendering me and making fun of my masculine traits. But even if you are a normal gay, you're expected to act a very certain way, a very digestible, tolerable way for straight people. So I would argue that you're really not that accepted. The normal gays in question, they're only accepted because they don't shove it down straight people's throat. Is that a life that you would like to live, Ariel?
Coming from somebody who has literally traveled to 41 out of the 50 states, I have honestly never experienced any type of homophobia easily within the last 10 years.
I mean, that doesn't really prove my point incorrect, right? She looks straight passing, doesn't she? I mean, besides the baseball cap, which is slay. We like the cap. I'm just saying it's not reading straight, which is fine. You know what I mean? You already proved me correct in this video when the only thing that you could attack about the woke creator in the beginning of the video was their hair color and their haircut. Both being signifiers of their queerness. I would hope that they would have the same experience as Ariel, where they could go nearly anywhere in the country and not experience homophobia, but that's not the case for a lot of people. The country and the world have come a long, long way. That's not me disregarding any of the progress that we have made, but we're still very far from 100% acceptance for LGBT people. We still have a lot of work to do.
Does that mean that it never happens? Of course not. And when it does, I call it out. But I also keep that same energy for my own people when they be f***ing up. Shit like this.
She says she'll call out transphobia and homophobia when that happens. I've never seen her do that. If any of you have, leave it in the comments. I would love to take a little peek. But she says that she is going to keep that same energy for when people in the woke community or the LGBT community mess up. And then she cites 2 examples. The first one being, it looks like a nudist march or something. I don't know if this is an LGBT parade and there's like nudists walking through it, or if it's a nudist parade and there's LGBT people in it. I'm not really sure what's going on here. What I am sure of is that sign is photoshopped. That's not what that sign said, babe. Listen, I don't think there should be nudists out either, but I mean, like, if it's real, it's real. That's crazy. There shouldn't be people walking naked through the streets when there are children around, of course. But I have a slight tendency to want to believe that this is an altered photo. But I mean, if it's not, it's not. I don't know. However, the other one is a screenshot of a study that says transgender suicide risk doubles after gender-affirming genital surgery. I mean, I read the study. It seems pretty legit. It says that suicide rates more than doubled from 1.5% to 3.3% after having vaginoplasty. However, what the study does not say is that we should not be providing these treatments for anybody. It does not say that we should stop doing the surgery. It does not say that the surgery is not successful at what it was meant to do. The study actually says patients undergoing gender-affirming surgery with a history of prior psychiatric emergencies or feminizing transition are at a higher risk and should be counseled appropriately. Maybe Ariella is just bringing this up to tell people that they should go to therapy or that they should make sure that they are in counseling if they're going through these procedures. I would hope that that would be what her recommendation is, but I'm not exactly sure what she recommends when she's pointing at this and not giving us any sort of indication what her stance would be to combat that happening. It's crazy that people will point to this procedure and be like, see, it's dangerous. It could affect your mental health. Like, yes, that is true. That's why we should make the procedure as safe as possible, right? Because there's no getting around the fact that people are wanting to have this procedure done. There's no getting around the fact that people will perform this procedure one way or another. This is getting done for some people. And so for those people, it should be as safe as possible, right? The aftercare should be as advanced and as thorough as possible. That's what this study is showing. So for Ariel to take it and say that, see, look at this, the LGBT community is messing up, when in reality, she proposes no alternative. She proposes no solution, no feasible solution anyways.
You look tired as fuck. Yeah, it is tiring seeing people over and over who don't know where the line needs to be drawn continue to regress us back to when people all thought we were pedophiles and simply not same-sex attracted adults. You look 50 and like you've had a rough divorce. That's honestly exactly kind of what this feels like, to be a lesbian and tell the entire community you're not a far leftist, that you're a Trump supporter, that you don't believe in 87 genders. And girl, I know exactly what partner they picked in this divorce.
I'm sorry, that I did not tweet any of that. What's that have to do with me? I thought this video was all about me. Back to me, sis. Can we get back to the topic at hand? Me.
Personally, the only bullying that I experience is from the far left. The new age conservative.
I only get bullied by the far left. Girl, look at your Twitter feed. Look at the echo chambers that you're in. This is the definition of not reading the room. The definition of like no context clues. The definition of living in a bubble. She says, I'm a lesbian and I don't get hate from anybody except for you LGBT people, you woke LGBTQs. Really? Really? Have you seen the 200 laws against gay people in this country? Have you seen that? I hate to break it to you, babe, but gay marriage is next.
When anti-gay Republicans say some dumb I'm gonna speak out. When woke leftists say some dumb I'm gonna speak out. I support President Trump. I don't support...
Pause the video, girl. Cut her mic. This is just a very unintelligent approach to politics, right? I support President Trump. I don't support every Republican policy or like, you know, any of the policies that are going to harm, you know, the LGBT community. So I'm going to support Trump, even though he will be the one that puts them all in place. And he's going to be the one that appoints all the people that are going to make it sure that the country stays Republican and conservative for 60 years to come. Ariel does not realize that when it gets to that point where they're doing things against us, you speaking out is not going to do much anymore. It's not. Not going to do much. They're going to be passing laws and taking rights away from people. They're going to be taking away women's right to choose. That is half of the population's rights being taken away. And the same people that are going to do that, the same people that overturned Roe v. Wade, are going to overturn gay marriage, right? And then it's going to be too late. You can say these things, you can say that you're going to speak out, but the fact of the matter is, if you vote for Trump as a lesbian, you are signing up to get your rights taken away.
Every Republican or every conservative candidate or person in general. And did you know that Trump had a gay wedding at his house in Mar-a-Lago like 2 weeks ago? Bet you didn't know that. Of course, the media didn't talk about it. They want you to think that he's super homophobic and transphobic and all these other things.
Not him having a gay wedding. Trump got gay married? He's married a man? Melania. I'm just kidding. Oh my God. I really don't think that he cares. I don't think he has an opinion one way or another. I think that he's just going to say what is going to be the most favorable thing in that room that he's currently standing in. However, if he is elected, I do believe he will appoint people around him that are extremely anti-LGBT, just like he did last time.
Even the majority of actual religious conservatives don't bully me. They might not agree with me or my lifestyle or whatever, but they don't bully me.
Girl, what do you mean? They don't agree with you? You've been talking about trans people for like a year, 2 years now. Of course they agree with you. Why would they not agree with you? You're catering to them.
Do I talk shit about trans people or do I talk shit about trans people? Can you read? T is literally in this photo. I don't know what to tell you if you can't read the letter T.
I mean, yeah. So this is what I was talking about earlier, right? She tries to separate transsexuals from the other ones, the trans trenders, if you will. Girl, you're not even trans. How are you going to be this deep into trans discourse? You know, for somebody who says that she's against gender norms and, you know, forcing people to act a certain way if they're a man or act a certain way if they're a woman. She really is particular about the way that trans people express themselves, right? If they do not choose to perfectly conform into the beauty standards of the gender that they are transitioning into, then they are not trans, right? It's sexism. It's misogyny. The same way that a cis woman can look like anything and still be a cis woman, trans women can look like anything and still be a trans woman. Non-binary people can look like anything and still be non-binary.
That a lot of liberals are now turning conservative. This video is going to explain why. Honestly, it's not.
The premise at the beginning of this video is a lie. Younger people are not in any way becoming more conservative.
I didn't say younger people. I said a lot of
This is like reactionception. You know what I mean? It's like back and forth and back and forth. It's crazy.
liberals are now turning conservative. Or
I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Show me the citation.
I think the reason that you don't agree here is because, like most people, you are confusing the word liberal with the word leftist. The left is moving further and further to the left. Actual liberal.
No, that's not why I misunderstood. I misunderstood because she explained it weird, but she re-explained it and I understand now. She's basically saying that the political spectrum is stretching more and more and more. And so as people get more and more leftist, she's appearing more and more conservative when in reality she's not changing her opinions.
Liberals, who used to be like right around here, like myself, are realizing that no one on the far left believes anything that they believe. But you know who does? Modern day conservatives, moderates, libertarians, people who are simply not on either far end of the spectrum, right? We have the far right, we have the far left, we have liberals somewhere in the middle over here, moderates, new age conservatives, right? It's this little section in the middle that actually is quite wider than we all think. And you say that I don't cite any examples. I mean, one example might very well be that Biden right now has 355,000 followers on TikTok. President Trump got 4.5 million followers in his first day on TikTok. Aren't most people on TikTok younger?
I think TikTok is a little bit biased towards Trump. I won't lie, but
Likely liberals who are seeing the parties switch before their eyes that no longer agree with the communist, socialist, DEI, oppressed, obsessed, far left. They don't feel like they're a part of that anymore. They don't like it, or they never were, and now they found a new home.
I think that what's actually happening, I mean, I do agree that people are getting turned off by the very, very far left, but I think the reason for it is actually because of people like Ariel, people like Matt Walsh, and people like the ones at the Daily Wire, who are creating a very extreme perception of the LGBT community. Anti-trans people have a very explicit goal. It is to stop the acceptance of the trans community from general society to the general public. But more often than not, when I talk to people about these issues, when we really break down the conversation and think about like the different policies and stuff like that, they usually end up more leftist than they would think. I feel like leftists just really get a bad rep, you know? The real truth of the matter is more people are going from Democrat and Republican to independent because they no longer are relying on this two-party system to get their views.
Turns out we're actually saying the same things in different ways. I was at UCF yesterday and I was filming a video, 2 videos actually, that are gonna come out within the next month, and not one person, and I specifically purposefully went up to people that I thought looked like liberals or leftists, right? Not one of them said that they were voting for Joe Biden. A lot of them said they weren't voting for Trump either, but nobody was voting for Joe Biden. There was maybe, I think, 4 or 5 people out of like 15 that I interviewed that said they were voting for Trump. The rest were like, I don't trust anybody.
I mean, that's very true. It kind of goes along with what I said about people leaving the Republican and Democratic Party and just kind of following people who align with their views. That's kind of the same thing. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of leftists right now is they do not align with either party. They do not want to vote for either party because they are not leftist enough, right? Because they're not liberal enough. Liberals and Democrats aren't voting for Joe Biden because he's not doing liberal things, because he's acting too conservative. He's acting too Republican. That's why people are upset with him. And if people are upset with him for not being liberal enough or leftist enough, why would they pick somebody that's further right on the spectrum than him? Why would they step back from their leftist values and go for somebody who's conservative? That doesn't make any sense. They're going to go for somebody like Bernie, who is farther down that liberal spectrum. But people are not leaving the Democratic side to become more conservative. They're leaving the Democratic side so that they're not associated with Democrats. Right? But they likely still hold very liberal or leftist values.
No, because if they did hold true leftist policies at the moment, they would be for things like higher taxes, open borders, funding wars. Again, leftist and liberal mean very different things. A lot of people who thought they were on the far left are realizing, hey, like, this country isn't as safe as it was 4 years ago. My bank isn't looking great. I don't feel safe. Crime's going up. I can't afford a house. I can't afford to eat. Maybe it's time to reset, pick somebody different. I mean, it was better 4 years ago.
Okay. People, no, those complaints are very true. They're very accurate complaints, but it's not that it was better 4 years ago. It's that it's not getting any better now. You know what I mean? It's still bad. I will say the Biden administration has made advancements, especially on making housing more affordable and dropping like drug prices and stuff like that. I sound like a little like Democratic plant. I swear I'm not. But I really strongly disagree that the people that she talked to that were liberal or leftists that don't want to vote for Joe Biden, they're not voting for him because he's too leftist. They're voting for him because he's not leftist enough.
And because of that, they are taking a step to the right, which, yes, means becoming more conservative. More, not conservative all the way, but more conservative. This is a sliding scale.
All these trans people are autistic and they're all transitioning just because they have autism. No, babe. Maybe people with autism are just more likely to be aware of their gender identity. Ever think of that?
In response to this, I want to show you a video that an ex-friend of mine or friend of mine, I don't know if we're still friends, from another trans woman I know who posted this video yesterday, who has also seen this extreme queer / non-binary / detrans trend and had a lot to say about it.
This is going to be controversial, but someone needs to say it. In recent years, there has been a lot of cases of people detransitioning. As a real transgender woman, I've noticed that my gender identity has become a trend. And so you have these confused people who are lying to their daughters saying, I'm trans. No, you're not. They got on hormones, they get on the surgery table, they get the surgery, and then a few months later, I regret this. Excuse me? You regret this because you're not really trans.
I love Julie Vu. I will say that. She's great. I think that she's placing her blame in the wrong place. I do not think that young people who are confused and end up detransitioning are to blame for what happened to them or whatever. That's why I think that that therapy process beforehand is so important. Also, don't lie to your therapist. Don't do it. There are people out there who were misdiagnosed with gender dysphoria, who transitioned and are now detransitioning and realizing that transition was not right for them. That's very real. However, I don't understand why mocking those people on your channel consistently. I don't understand what benefit that serves. People who are wrongfully transitioning are not evil or like distorted in some way. They're just probably mentally ill. They've probably been through some stuff that they need to work out. But I have to point out that that is not who the videos that Ariel creates are on. None of the people in the videos that I've reacted to on my channel, none of the videos that I can see on her channel right now are about detransitioners. They're about people who are currently living as trans.
Change your name, wearing extensions and being like, I'm a woman, and your life and all your problems go away. Sorry, babes, that's not how it works. And do you know who gets yelled at? Me. I've had people go on podcasts and be like, Gigi Gorgeous, Julie Vu, glamorize being trans, and here I am, because they made it seem so easy. I have never held a knife to your throat and say you have to transition. It's the delusion within the community. I'm sorry if I sound harsh, but this is the truth.
Yeah, that's not within the trans community. That's within the extremist detrans community, right? There are people who detransition and there are detrans people. There are people who realize that being trans is not for them and they go back to the way that they used to live, whatever. And there are detrans people who make a political career out of speaking out against the trans community and basically saying that the medical community medically groomed them into being trans or something like that. They campaign around the country trying to get gender affirming care banned for minors. Like, that's a very specific group of people. Ariel and Julie Vu are not talking about the same people.
Our gender identity has been made a mockery of because of people who are confused and do not know what they want. Whereas someone like me, I've always known since I was a child.
Yes. Ever think about that, Samantha?
Mr. Vice President.
Ever think about the fact that she had dysphoria since she was a child and now people are making a mockery of it? Identifying as something and like living your life a certain way and then realizing that you don't want to live that way anymore It's not making a mockery of anything. That's called normal behavior. I will say I do have an issue with the detrans community. I'm not talking about people who detransition. Again, detrans people who make this political career out of it. I do have an issue with them because Julie's right. They do make a mockery out of being trans. They do fearmonger about being trans. They do spread literal conspiracy theories about being trans. Julie's right. Those people need to relax. But Ariel is talking about something else.
You're in your 30s. I literally follow trans people who have been out of the closet longer than you've been alive. You weren't dropped in this world out of nowhere. Don't blame your prejudice on age.
How are you going to say that I need to not be prejudiced about people's ages, and then you, in that very same, well, not in that same breath because you use the TikTok voice, are prejudiced about my age? You're in your 30s, grow up.
That's not prejudice, babe. That's accountability. That's calling you out on the fact that your brain should be more developed by now. That was not a read on your brain, by the way. I'm sure that your brain is very well developed. I'm sure that you do know better. I'm sure that you know what you're saying is wrong, right? That it's hurting the trans community. Again, look at your comment section. But that's what they're saying. And again, this is not about me. Go back to me. You didn't even get to the part where I addressed what you said about me.
In the 90s, like when troll dolls were a thing, because maybe you should stop appropriating my childhood culture.
They have to talk about you, because when they talk about themselves, nobody listens.
I find the content on this page a disgrace to every woman that has fought so hard to break the glass ceiling.
Do you mean me? I'm one of those women who is still fighting for women's spaces and women's rights. Nobody owes anyone a date. We don't owe anybody our changing rooms, our safe spaces, our sports segregated for a reason. And we don't owe anyone our vote or support. This person gets it.
If you're going to express yourself in a gender non-conforming way, just learn to go.
None of the rest of the video is me. She made an 11-minute video and 8 minutes are about me. The rest are about some other people. I don't even know. She did not even include the part of my video where I reacted to what she said about me. The best part. Why did she cut that out? I don't understand. What did I say that was so bad? Oh, nothing. Oh, I just read her to filth. That's why she cut it out. Oh yeah, because she called me out for saying that trans people had a part at Stonewall or something. I don't know. She's been on this weird spree where she likes to deny that trans people were at the Stonewall riots. I don't know. It's weird. She's weird. I'll play a little clip of it. Am I saying that every single right that the LGBT community has is owed 100% to trans women and trans women only? No, of course not. All that I'm saying and all that I think that trans activists are saying when they bring up, you owe trans people is the fact that trans people have always been right there fighting alongside you. We've always been here to help advance gay rights. We've always been here to help advance the LGBT rights as a whole. So now when trans rights are more important, where are you? Yeah, I did eat that. I did. Listen, if you're gonna make a response video and call me out, why don't you at least include the part where I called you out? Get to the good stuff, include the context. But of course not, because she is your typical anti-trans grifter. She cannot include the context because it spoils her arguments. So she just cuts it out of the video. Maybe we should just do a debate so that she can't cut everything out. But okay, guys, hopefully this was the last reaction video. But I mean, I won't lie. If she does come out with another crazy one, I will react to it again because how could I not? But yeah, to wrap up this video, thank our trans ancestors for fighting for our rights. And don't bully your fellow community members. Okay? If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. I post new videos every single week here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe if you are not already and you would like to be. And yeah, other than that, I think I'm gonna go. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.